Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a very special cast for every single one of you. We are returning to SETON'S. Of course, it is a 4v4. We all know SETON'S. We love SETON'S. And this is the 500 plus subscriber. Thank you, cast. So again, thank you so much to everyone for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, just my little plug for the day. If you've been enjoying the content and if you enjoy this cast in particular, please hit that red button down below the video. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, and then we'll go over the results of the poll I put on the channel, starting with Team 1 up here to the northeast and ending with Team 2 down here in the southwest. Let's start here with the rear guard air slot of Team 1. It is Cortana going first land as a UEF in royal blue. Very sensible color in terms of the name, of course, because whenever I think of Cortana, I think of blue. In the beach position here to the west, we have my Emperor going first air in Snow White as a Seraphim. Going to build the transport at some point to try to steal it from Team 2. We'll see if he's successful in that. In the central causeway here for Team 1, we have the comm of Nori. He is in first. He's going first land, second land, third land, fourth land all day. And he is in Imperial Grey as a Cybran. And last but not least here for Team 1, in the... I always forget if it's rock or cliff position. I think it's called cliff. Maybe it's rock. I can't remember. Somebody will let me know down in the comments which one it's which. But in this position, in the Eastern Navy slot, we have Zar JC. He's going first land, second air in Barbie Pink as a UEF. So for Team 1 side of things, in terms of racial makeup, we have one of each faction except for Aeon with a double in UEF. To the southeast, we'll start with the rear guard air slot here for Team 2. It is Oro Lox Mato. Sounds like Vox Machina or something. That's what reminded me of. He's going first land in Tropical Ocean Blue as another UEF. So it's UEF versus UEF in the air. And of course, he's going to go first land, second air here pretty soon. Again, he's a Tropical Ocean Blue as a UEF. In the beach slot here for Team 2, we have Golemo. He is going first land, second air in orange, the color orange. And he is going the first Aeon of the game. And again, reaching the middle of the map, we have Swadoslav. He is going first land and land all day, second, third, fourth, all of that good jazz. And he's going for the reclaim here in the middle. And he is in Amethyst Purple as a Seraphim. We'll get right back to the action here once we introduce the last player on Team 2. And it is Triple F, another Seraphim, going first land, second air in Chevy Crimson. The interceptor here from my Emperor attacking his transport. And again, he is in Chevy Crimson as a Seraphim. And he is in the rock cliff position. Let's go back here to the action. We have Nori. He's going for the Salems, while we have Sladoslav going for the units. I think, if I remember correctly, it's more worth it to go for the units, like the smaller land units first, because each of these are worth 972. And most of these, a decent chunk of these are worth 302 and then 143. So if you get 4 of these for every one of these, it's more worth it. But of course, the middle one is usually what is fought over here for both teams. Usually Team 1 gets the one on the right and Team 2 usually gets the one on the left. But again, we can see all of the different positions of which reclaim one they're going after. There's going to be a lot of hoovered up mass here for our players from the middle. And, of course, we have the secondary comms. Actually, we only have one. The comm of my Emperor is not moving up to support his commander buddy here in the middle, which means that the player of Nori will have to be shoved off this position. So he's going to try to suck up as much mass as he can and get out of there. Not really looking good so far in terms of positioning, and of course, there's not really a lot of units for either player, so it's really just going to be a 2v1 comp scenario. But to the west, a transport did land here for the player of my Emperor, and he will secure the western side of the island here. And what this means is it will delay the rock player, I think it's rock, the ability to go for this position. That's 5 mexes that he doesn't have under his control right now. and he needs to get that, that situation changed, because it's just going to allow the Beast player to build up more and more even quicker. But like I pointed out earlier, Nori is going to be pushed off by the comb of Gomo and the comb of Swadoslav. Swadoslav going to push forward against his units, while Gomo's going to go after his comb directly. This ensures that they have both lines of defense covered, whether that be from the beach side or from the land side, to ensure that no funny business happens. And it does look like Gomo might try to cut off the comm. You can see Nori trying to kind of come over on the beach side, trying to get out of there as best he can. But we are seeing units starting to push against his in the land position. He might actually just have to go all the way around, which will delay his ability to use his comm very effectively here this early in the game. This is a win here for Team 2. They're going to secure the middle causeway. We already have a gun speed and range going for Swadoslav, so he's going to ensure that this stays. But we do see Nori get onto land, and he's going to just coast this northern side just to make it out of there. Reinforcements here from the units of Swadoslav is going to push in to try to go after Nori. Nori has repped up back to the green, but of course he only has 10,000 hit points versus the 11,000 for the Aeon and 11.5 for the Seraphim. But it does look like the units are the main target here for Gomo. Gomo not really going for the comm. Of course, SETON'S games are full share, so if he dies off, all these resources, all of this infrastructure just goes to another player. But he wants to push against the infrastructure first, take that out, and then kill the comm. That'd be the best idea, best scenario for him. But they are building T2 servers to try to halt the advance of Team 2. And they pushed fairly far forward. They're actually starting to end in that other curve. See how the land kind of goes straight for a little bit and then has a kind of a curve to it. But they're starting to get into this southeastern position over here. Not really a whole lot, but it's just denying your opponent another mechs is the idea. Once Cerberus comes online, radar online, very important for the Cerberus to be able to see how far, or not far, how the positioning of those units are looking. They just need intel. They just need to be able to, like, oh, that's a unit. That's an enemy friend or foe signature. I need to take it out, kind of thing. And he will establish some sort of front line, but fairly far back. Usually it's about right here. But he's been pushed back a little bit further. This Mechs was denied. They'll claim this Mechs here. Team 2 will claim this Mechs here in the middle. Give them a slight advantage, but this early on in SETON'S, I mean, it's not a make-or-break scenario. It's not like losing an entire island and not getting it back ever kind of thing. That could eventually lose you the game. We are seeing one transport go over the top. They go after 3 engineers. They're going after the T2s, trying to deny the technology advantage here for Nori. We are seeing some Zhui shots going in. They tried to build a shield. That didn't last very well. But they're trying to build another one, and they might get this one. Bomber goes off. Will it get the shield emitter? No, it will not. And they need one more bomb, and that shield is going to finish. It's going to be heavily damaged, but will finish and going to give Nori a little bit of protection here. But we have a couple of Volthu gunships here from the player of Gomo. And Gomo going to start some raiding operations. Has some assisting interceptors to protect, as well as interceptors coming in here for the player of Czar. And it does look like they're going to be chased away. The gunship's not wanting to go directly in. Might be building, yep, he's building a T1 air turret just to protect him for a little bit. Can you give me some E, says Swadoslav. He's probably he's trying to finish that upgrade. Yep, he has finished the gun, and he's now going to build the nano repair. So very chunky, 70 hit points a second, a 13.5 thousand. That is a lot of hit points this early on. Will give him the ability to survive a decent amount of shots from the Cerberus. They are weak. You can see they don't deal a lot of damage, and essentially it's not really doing a whole lot. It's dropped him a couple hundred hit points, but that's about it. We have missile launchers here coming in from Swadoslav. Going to start puncturing the shields. There is one zapper online. That's not enough. Eventually the shield will go down. They're building a land factory as we speak. And T2 radar here for Nori. Nori wants to know exactly what's going on in the middle and how far back he can see. You can see pretty much to the other side of that little isthmus here in the middle of the map. But Swadoslav, once the shield is down, he pushes forward, takes out that Cerberus, and now this position is starting to crumble once again. Nori has to retreat. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. a secondary fallback position is being built, as well as a line of Cerberus. I don't know if that's going to be enough quick enough, because pretty much everything's dead. There isn't any PD whatsoever, and units are starting to get in range of the comms. So it's not really looking good here for Nori, and Nori is the highest rated player in the game. And that'd be a huge grab if Team 2 could kill him early on. Team 1 does have the highest rated and second highest rated player in the game, but they also have the 2 lowest ranked players of the game. So it's a battle of it's the team of extremes versus the team of like averages, I guess. But those PD are not enough to stop the comp of Swatoslav. He's still pushing forward. I know I haven't covered a lot of the Navy or the Eco, whatever the case may be, but it does look like T3 has been achieved here for Team 1, and Team 2 does have T3 Air specifically as well. So both teams have access to that technology. They're high-rated players. They know the maths for all the best plays and the best resource allocation for units and for taking up the T3. Swatoslav going for the turrets here to ensure that he can take these out and take out the damage that is occurring to his comm. He's dropped into the yellow. He is a 2,000 rated player, so he knows what he's doing, but he is forced to retreat. Nori is going to just walk him down. Sub 4,000 hit points. Nori at sub 7,000, but a lot more fire is going onto Swatoslav's commander. He's dropping below 2K. Even with 76 hit points a second, it is a lot of incoming fire. Gomo's trying to take some of the hits. He's out of range of the... Oh, that's got to hurt. So at the same time that... so Nori control Ks to ensure that Swatoslav did not rep up enough hit points to survive the attack. I was about to mention that if he gets above 2,500, he'll be fine. But Nori control Ks, and that is going to hurt. That is gonna hurt. Did his other units die? Well, maybe they did. Maybe it's a partial share game. Huh. I thought it was a full share game. Anyway, but that is gonna drop this game to a 3v3. It is a it is a murder-suicide scenario here in the middle of the map. The player of My Emperor will eventually inherit. It was originally given to Cortana and then inherited to My Emperor, and I would assume that Gomo gets this as well. He's already up here. He's on this eastern side. Kind of makes sense that he gets it. So backing up in terms of the map, again, Team 1 losing ground in the middle, and they are starting to be attacked here in the Navy as well. T2 has been achieved here for My Emperor in the Navy. One frigate doesn't do a whole lot of damage, takes out a couple of NGs, but that's really about it. Probably just a distraction force. T2 on the way. This will give Triple F enough time to build up a couple of units before that destroyer gets pretty close. So just sending it in as a distraction. But Tsar has just decided to go after comm of Gomo. Gomo dropping below 1,000 hit points. And Tsar, we're going to see another murder-suicide here. Wow, that is, that's crazy. Why decided to just come and have a party? Didn't even notice his comm was on the way. Maybe he wanted to get on some of that action. But now, sub 20 minutes, we're down to a 2v2 game. Half of the players are killed off. And both of them are due to a murder-suicide scenario. No, the units aren't gifted over. Okay, why did this one? Oh, it wasn't highlighted. That is a full share game. Okay, for some reason, maybe those units were already dead. Okay. But now it is going to be Triple F with the northern side of things here on Team 2's side of things, and the southern side will be handled by Horo Lox Mato. And Cortana will take the eastern side, and My Emperor take the western side. So two different approaches. We have Navy. It's essentially what it is my old position and the other one, and his original position and the other one. And it's the same scenario here. It's original position, this one, original position, this one. So sometimes you might see a base trade of, it'd be easier if I could control the Western Navy, you control the Eastern Navy kind of thing. But a lot of players are kind of biased for their own bases. Like, this is the base, like, this is the one I started off with kind of thing. And I kind of want to keep it. And no, that's fair. It does make sense. But we have some of these destroyers inbound to this T2 naval facility. And we have a couple of torpedo bombers, and that halted the advance of these destroyers, and that pretty much all that my Emperor has. He has one destroyer left and one cruiser. Not entirely open, but with all the torpedo bombers nearby, it really, it's not enough. You need some frigates in here to soak up a lot of the damage, but it's kind of an oversight here, and only having one facility as well. Like, I mean, I guess he has some over here, and to be fair, Triple F only has one facility as well, but he's built his own destroyer now. And a destroyer versus destroyer with assisting torp bombers, it only goes one way unless that cruiser can come in and deal with them. But I don't think it's going to really go his way. There's hardly anything for either team. But at least Triple F has some additional firepower with the frigates. They're pretty much cannon fodder at this point, but that is the case. Oh, and apologies, I completely forgot about going over the percentages for who won what group won the poll on the channel. Starting off with the winner, it is the high-rated game, 1800 plus at 46% of the vote, so almost half, and it was 57 votes in total at the time that I grabbed the screenshot. And then the second place was Phantom at 23%. No Navy map at 12%. Specific map, whether that be SETON'S, Dual Gap, at 18%, and then one person voted for a different game, whether that be Baldur's Gate, Jagged Alliance 3, XCOM, like another strategy type game was kind of what I was going for. And that was at 2%. So again, thank you so much for everyone who participated in the poll. Of course, the next poll will be when I hit 750 subscribers, and I'm already well on my way to getting there. Thank you so much to everyone for subscribing. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And again, if you've been liking the video so far, please give it a like, comment down below. Who do you think is going to win? It is a very interesting game. You usually see a lot of players survive past 20 minutes, but having half the game just dead, it's a very different sentence. So, and I guess that's fitting for the 500 plus subscriber game or cast is it's a different game, and that's why we like these games, because it's not the same every single time, or at least most of the time. So, again, thank you. There's some Russian going down in chat. I don't know what that means. I'm going to go look at the ping, and I don't know what that means. So, someone can translate that in the comments section for me, but I'm not even going to attempt. Not even going to attempt. But we have a destroyer going after the cruiser. This cruiser will die. Cruiser doesn't have any protecting units. It's going after the mechs here on the front line, which I guess it's probably worth it. But when you have so limited naval units at this stage in the game, might want to save the AA capabilities for later. And we even have, see, you could even bring them over here and take out these bombers. That destroyer will be killed off just by bombers itself. Additional destroyer here in the rear. It does look like there is a huge move from Triple F to go after this facility, this island here, to, because it technically should be his. But my Emperor has made it such a pain for him to grab it. He has to pull a lot of APM, a lot of resources, and now the ASF's here for Cortana, which means, he has a lot sub 20 minutes, about 50 or so, you consider the ones coming in the rear. And how does Team 2's air look? Well, Lox Motto has 44, so about the same, but not just a little bit behind. We are seeing incoming units here from Cortana, and it's a lot. You think it's a lot, but it's not. There's some, should be an intel boat somewhere around here, unless I'm just completely blind. Probably it's that, but it's weird because you see all this, and then you go to the main view, and it's just this. Usually the counterintelligence boat's the one that do it, but I don't see it, though. It's just T1 frigates. And it's all T1 frigates. And all the units have fallen back. There's a couple of Exodus-class destroyers with some frigates, but there's so many frigates, I don't know if it's going to be enough. There are more up here. These frigates need to move in. Torpedoes are going for the destroyers, but they're going to be killed off here very quickly. And there were more frigates down here. So it's a fairly even fight in terms of unit count, but in terms of technology count, the two destroyers are going to be a lot of firepower, pretty much one-shotting those frigates. Now the frigates are teaming up against the frigates that dared to come into the waters of the Aeon of Lox Motto, or I guess I should say Gummo was the original author of that base. But now this has emboldened the units here from Lox Matzo. He's going to push forward against this group. You can see this is what he's looking at, just a whole lot of signatures. But a lot of them he can tell are fake. You can just kind of see you're just not, it's not possible for all those units to exist considering the fact that it is a Navy game. So, and in terms of like how the unit symbols are like colliding with one another, they're overlapping way too much. I mean, they could be, you know, submarines or something like that, but it's highly unlikely. Cruisers starting to bombard the middle causeway here for Team 2. We have a couple of destroyers here as well. Some of them are actually submerged. The advantage of Seraphim destroyers is the fact that they can hide underneath the water. You know, I kind of like that little view. Kind of here, you can see that, you know, how they look like in the different positions, whether it be underwater or on the surface. And the cruisers do look very similar, though. I love this. I talked about this before, but the design of the Seraphim, where some of the pieces aren't necessarily attached, you know, indicates some like hover, like not grav technology, but some like hover technology. And it goes to a lot of their units have hover, so I do like the fact that, you know, that design goes with everything, whether it be a land unit, an air unit, a ground unit, like that whole design motif of its very smooth angles, you know, some sharp angles, and those are usually coming from the additional parts, I call them, from the like the floating bits. But Seraphim versus Seraphim, the numbers will pretty much reside with the player who has, well, the numbers. And cruisers are being pumped out more and more. A lot more units are being pulled or pushed out here from my Emperor. They're being birthed from these positions here. You can see the influence that Team 1 has in the northern water. Southern Navy, it's a little more 50-50. There's a lot more units here for Cortana, but he doesn't have any T2 boats. He's skipped T2. He's gone straight for T3. He's building the Neptune. That's a very good ship to get, especially because Team 2 only has T1 and T2, so those late direct fire lasers, he does have a destroyer in there. But now he's stretching out all his units, forming a center line here. He's like, you cannot go past this line, is pretty much what he's saying. And the units can come and try to push through one section, but all these units can just come in and flank, and it's just not going to go well. Pretty much creating his own kill box is the idea. So it doesn't matter what section of the map these units, or the section of the line these units try to push through, the other ones will just collapse in on that side that they didn't go after. So good strategic move here from Cortana. He's also giving himself enough time to hold out for this Neptune. He's going to build 16 of them and then probably go for, I'd say, more cruisers, I would say. Build like 2 or 3 Neptunes and then go for cruisers to kind of help with the AA. That you do have your Air Force here, and he is controlling the Air Force, so he doesn't feel as pressured to build cruisers just because he has control over the ASF. But more destroyers try to go after this group of cruisers and destroyers as well. The frigate's going to soak up a lot of the incoming damage. It's all T2 here for Triple F and T1 and T2 mix here for my Emperor. The frigates are going to push forward, get their little noses up in front of those destroyers, trying to block some of that incoming fire, and even more frigates are coming in to assist. Destroyers trying to hold off the direct fire weapons, very effective in Navy. It's very hard for the shots to miss. You just have to be in range. And you can see lots of lasers, you know, crisscrossing the map. And it does look like the momentum here and the numbers are still residing here for my Emperor. The destroyers are grouping up, which doesn't really do a whole lot because for either team, because there's not AoE weapons, they're direct fire weapons. But they're not projectile, so they don't have like an AoE effect. So it does, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 destroyers, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a lot of the units have died here for my Emperor. He did have the advantage, but it does look like he pulled his cruisers back. And now, no, that's got to hurt the destroyers who now, they ran in. They're going after this one. This one's almost dead at 70 hit points left remaining. we had a couple of bombers go over the top here for Triple F. They'll get maybe 1 kill. But target this one. Target this one. Oh, they don't get it. That's disappointing. So still 5 cruisers remain. Sorry, 5 destroyers remain with additional reinforcements here from. Oh no, the engineers! No, don't drop your engineers right here. This there. Oh, there went. Oh, that was. It's gotta hurt. Something said. What is going on, chat? Their sides have no eco. Neither does Emperor. Nori makes a comment to his team. Yeah, well, we'll talk about eco here. Team 1 winning the generated mass per second at 1.1. Team 2 trailing fairly close behind at 1 K mass a second. Team 1 has acquired more mass over the course of the game at 750,000 or 760,000 versus Team 2 is 680,000. So about a 80 mass ahead differential here for Team 1. Not a huge amount when we're talking about SETON'S. You're like 80,000, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, that's about 3 Monkey Lords. Or I think it's like 2.5 chickens or something. So not a considerable amount considering it's a 20 by 20. There's a lot of things going on. You need Navy units. You need air units. You need some ground, but not a whole lot. So, and those naval units do cost a lot. So it's not really a huge issue, but it will become one later on. Multiple T3 facilities have been built here for Lox Mato, and he's going to be pumping out these destroyers. Actually, he's not pumping out destroyers, he's pumping out frigates. Now he'll go for a destroyer. The Exodus class destroyer. I think that's a destroyer. That looks like an aircraft carrier, but I think it's a destroyer. Sorry, a Omen, not a destroyer. Again, to the northwestern side of the map, the water situation, still this constant fight over this cove area or this beachfront property. It must be very expensive because lots of mass has been, focused here. Either team, that's a lot of mass to scoop up. How much mass is currently here? I mean, 30,000 mass, give or take. Like that's a decent chunk of mass for either team to get. But now, since Team 1 has air superiority, at least for now that they do, they're going to start spamming out these torpedo bombers, the Storks. They're delivering their babies in the sense of this, like, essentially not dummy missile, but a torpedo. And man, they're just eating up all those destroyers. The destroyers do have some torpedo defense, but not that much defense. ASFs come over the top. The ASFs moved out of position, definitely trying to make sure there's nothing kind of sneaking in the back, and unfortunately that gave enough time for Lox Mato to come in, take out most of the bombers, and then leave. It does look like the air game still resides here with Team 1. 300. That number skyrocketed last time we checked. Versus 239. Yep, Team 1 has the advantage, and I think Cortana knows that. That's why he's using it so aggressively. We have Bulwark shield boats and some Neptunes starting to group up here to the northwest, and they're starting to spread out here. Don't throw your Bulwark just far forward like that. It's not very weak. It's not very strong. And a couple of frigates get underneath, kill that one. Not really the best position for that one. They'll probably get the other. They might get the other one. It'll be close. That's a lot of hit points that are just dead. But we have the first battleship in the Southern Navy, the Omen class battleship. Very big and impressive. Not as, I'd say, impressive as maybe the Summit, which is, I think, I don't know. The Galaxy class looks really good as well. And then there's the little Neptune with its dual laser cannons, and I think that's an AA turret on the... Oh, I mean, maybe that is. I don't know. I can't tell. It needs to fire. It's not firing right now, so maybe it's an AA turret. But more Storks are inbound here for Cortana taking out... What are they taking out? Okay, take out the destroyers. Yeah, that would be my guess. But maybe the target will be the battleship once the destroyers are gone. But it does look like a lot of momentum is in favor of Team 1. You can see they're starting to enclose around both sides of the naval production here for Team 2. But a chicken up the middle definitely shakes things up a little bit here. There's not typically a lot of defense here in the ground side of things for SETON'S, especially at after 15-20 minutes. Pretty much build a couple of fire bases and just that's it. It's whatever the land game really needed at that time. T1 bombers over the top won't do a whole lot. You need like, you know, dozens and dozens more. One Mechs has gone down. This is emboldened, of course, Triple F to push back against the Navy for my Emperor. He's going to be distracted by this chicken. And there's only 2 players on each team, so the APM is definitely going to be a large resource that both teams need to micro very heavily. Because it's, you know, it's going to matter as this game gets on where your tension is. And a couple of units here, these Wagner amphibious tanks, are just going to be ignored by the chicken. The chicken's just going to go full send into the main base that was once Nori's. More bombers over the top. Black is trying to take them out. Takes out a couple of them, but can't take them all out, of course. More and more mechs are under threat. Go down. There's even a Omni station going to be built here at some point. More Cerberus tanks. Can't really do the damage. Slowly but surely, of course. You know, again, 1,000 of anything will kill anything. But engineers trying to build up defenses as fast as they can. This chicken isn't even sub, you know, 50% of its hit points. We see the chicken actually trying to dodge the bombs. You can see some of them are missing. This is crazy. It looks like a lot of the APM is going into this chicken right now here for Triple F. And you can just see, you know, the distance it is just dealing with everything here. The main core mass here for Nori's old position is gone. There's the T3 Mechs. That'd be a good grab. Not going for that. They turn around and grab this one. That was a good move here. They'll get this other T3 Mechs. There's a T3 Mechs over here. A lot of mass is going down. Team 2 has gained the lead in the mass generation game because of this. And now he's going to walk over that beach and destroy that. Cortana holding most of the mass here for Team 1. Team 2 is more spread out with both players kind of holding about, you know, generated mass a second. And now the chicken's going to go straight for the beach position, going to knock out a lot of infrastructure here. At the same time, we see a huge wave of cruisers and destroyers pushing on this position. My Emperor does not have the mass to be able to pump out as much as he would like to. You know, only sitting about 300 mass versus 600, almost 700 mass, so a 2-to-1 advantage here for Triple F. The bombers are still raining in. We even have a Stinger in there as well. This chicken is just under 50% of its hit points. Maybe it'll go after this air facility here. Maybe it'll just go after the comm directly. The comm is pinged, and the comm does take some fire. Trying to dodge as well. It is a Seraphim on Seraphim action here. The chicken kind of shooting at it, but not really shooting at it. I think its main goal is the air grid. And now 5-star chicken, sub 30,000 hit points. T2 Stingers are called into support. It does drop it into the red. Will it get close enough to deal damage? Going after the P-Gens. Definitely the good grab here. He built the facilities first, then he built the P-Gens. You got to keep walking. Got to keep walking. Okay, you take out the P-Gens. That's good. You could have walked a little bit closer. But this airbase will be taken out for the most part. Probably one facility will stay online. Probably two. But a huge grab here. Lots of devastation here from this chicken alone. And it gave Triple F enough time to push the Navy very heavily back into the cove here. And a lot of destroyers are starting to, you know, team up on these other destroyers. All fire into one of them is the idea. It's kind of hard to micro that, where, you know, all of your units fire into one unit. But doing a pretty good job of focusing fire for the most part. And to the east, just cruisers trying to do what they can. Torpedo launchers trying to hold off. We even have some AA units here from Triple F as well. And a couple of tanks. These, Yenzine, that's what they're called. See, that one I can say. Yenzine attacking the facilities here. Take out some of the NGs as well. The thing about the Yenzine is that they're hovers, so the torpedo launchers can't target them. And there's a lot of AA. The Storks are on their way. That's why Triple F brought in some flak. But now the destroyer's trying to circle back around. They're going to target the lead one. Overkill will be a thing that Cortana has to watch out for. Now cruiser fire dealing with a lot of these Storks. They're just being eviscerated by the flak from both the cruisers and the actual flak AA cannons here. What are they called? Ayashavas? Ayashava? Yeah, I think they're Ayashavas. Gotta like sit down and try to like practice all the names for the Seraphim units. Because of course they're the only ones that are somewhat, they are different. They're like, all the other ones are English names and these are like alien names. Anyway, lots of Storks inbound. To the south, though, we are seeing, of course, the same kind of yin-yang scenario where one side falls, but the other side falls for the other team. Completely wiped out, essentially, here. Cortana has control over the southeastern pond here. Team 1 is still holding out for now, using a lot of cruiser fire to just stave off anything and everything they can. The Storks are going after the cruisers now. At least that would be my goal. Take out the cruisers, then take out the destroyers. But there's still a lot of T2 units here and more. Oh, sorry about that. More waves still coming in constantly. Not letting up. But that's a lot of APM. A lot of masses being thrown at these cruisers. And essentially they get maybe one for each big group. Yep, they get one essentially, which isn't a huge grab considering all of the APM and mass costs. And all Triple F has to do is just produce more and more. And he's producing T2 land units to bolster his naval forces. They are weaker against the direct fire weapons of the Seraphim, of course, but they are cannon fodder. There's flak units as well. Getting engineers out to scoop all the mass. He's doing a whole lot here on the northern side of the field. Very similar to what is going on the eastern side with Cortana and the strings of engineers to scoop up everything in their path. We even have a couple of Neptunes targeting land units as we speak. And this is so far, it's a tied game in terms of generated mass a second. Cortana is the leader of mass generation at 1K mass a second. The lead has pretty much stayed the same, about 80,000 mass between both teams. Land situation has favored Team 1 pretty much for the most part. Now we have a couple of land units making their way across the middle causeway. A couple of lightning tanks in there will target the ASS. We'll kill a couple of them, but not an exorbitant amount. More and more and more Storks are being thrown here. So many Corsairs. So many cruisers, so many flak units. Some of them have 2 ranks of veterancy, which is crazy. You don't see that. But, and then there's even, of course, cruiser fire coming in. There's not enough destroyers in this mix for these cruisers to be well effective. There are more destroyers coming in online, and there are destroyers down here, but it's just there's not enough. There's so much AA here, and there's so much power with just these Yenzin. It's very difficult for the destroyers to really make it, not worth their while, but really to make a dent in this incoming threat. And we even have a battleship, the Hathum, for Triple F, and that will change the game quite significantly. Long range. Team 1 still only has T2 tech, just went to T3 as I'm literally talking about it, but they have to build something in the time that the battleship gets here, and it's already halfway there. And once that gets in range, a lot of this infrastructure, a lot of these units will die off. We have cruiser fire versus cruiser fire, and both of them aren't moving. And both of them start moving as I get a nice shot of them not moving. You literally had just missiles being thrown at missiles at targets that don't move in Navy. But it does look like a decent amount of the missiles are going into the T3 naval headquarters. They're building a Hathum as we speak, the T3 battleship for the Seraphim. That's their main target. If they can kill the tech, that pretty much secures them the win, especially considering when they have their own on the way. Keep moving. Yeah, keep moving your Hathum. You need it on the front line to deal with that facility here. And now destroyers and cruisers are going to come in and deal with the assisting facilities here on the northern side of the beach. Let's check on the southern side of things. Well, Cortana has lined up a couple of summits, as well as, of course, his... those look like some omens were killed, of course. There's a Neptune here. It's on a 4-star Neptune. That thing might get to 5 stars if it kills a couple of these facilities here. But missiles raining in from nearby cruisers. Where are your... Wait, hold on. Where are your cruisers? Where's your AA support? Oh, there's one down here. Okay, I was like, oh, you're UEF and you don't have cruisers. What are you doing? But the Hathum does finish. Definitely not something that Triple F wanted to deal with, but he does have his own. So that should come in range here pretty quick. They're going after the additional forces and infrastructure first, and you would think that'd be the main target of opportunity, would just be target this facility. They're going to pump out another one, most likely before. There's a lot of damage. I guess the Hathum did come out of position. Battleships do fire faster, and that is the downside with battleships, is they don't fire as quickly as destroyers do. And they'll get the T3 headquarters. Only one battleship will be built, and a lot of that build power is starting to, die down just because they're being killed off. But more Storks are inbound. Another couple waves. They'll kill some destroyers, but they'll run into a lot of flak, and it's not really going well. The Hathum is almost dead, sub 8,000 hit points. This Hathum over here is being surrounded, and you can just see, just because you have a T3 tech ship does not mean it will survive everything. And you can see T2 and T1 units are starting to take thousands of hit points off. The Hathum is trying to stay online as best as it can, trying to run behind some of these structures. Let's see whose battleship will die first. This one, sub 2,000. A couple of shots go in, we'll take it out, and this one will die off fairly quickly as well. So neither team will have T3 tech in the water, at least right here. It was close. It was close. They almost killed off. Emperor almost killed it off. And now I would assume the Zooey spam will be realized here pretty quickly. And of course, ASFs come over the top to protect the more Storks that are inbound. So many Storks. I don't know how many Storks have been built this game, but there have just been so many. We are at the 40-minute mark here in the game. Is anybody building any surprises here for either team? Well, no game enders here. SMD here, very typical. Additional air grid here, of course, because that's just kind of the meta of this map. There's an additional SMD here. Love the positioning behind the rock. Very, very good positioning there. Don't see anything. A huge area of influence here for Team 1, pretty much denying a lot of the core mass here and additional mass further inland. We have 2 SMDs in the middle of the base. Very interesting that there's 2. I mean, 2 is better than 1, and an additional one here. But I don't see any experimentals being built. I don't see. There's an SMD over here. There's one over here because this base will eventually be killed off anyways. There is a gateway though. Very interesting that it's that far forward. But now the destruction of my Emperor's main base, and that will pretty much knock him out of the game. He has some structures down here, and of course this little facility up here. That's it. It's mainly just Cortana. He's the one leading the charge here. 1.2 thousand mass a second. It does, we are starting to see the numbers here suffer for Lox Mato because he was the beast position. But mass extractor starting to disappear. TMD being built to wave off the incoming missiles from those cruisers. I want to say Corsairs every time. They both start with C. We're seeing some T2 artillery installations trying to just shove off any of these units. And this is the downside of direct fire weapons, is because you need a direct line of sight to the target. They don't arc. It is very difficult for these T2 destroyers to do a whole lot. The cruisers are where it comes in, where they can actually arc over the land. And they can hit some things, but a lot of things they just can't target. It does look like the artillery is focusing the unit it should be, which is the one that can arc over land, and that will actually be killed off, but a second one appears anyways. So even they kill one off, doesn't really matter. I hear explosions going on all the time. I feel like RASCOMs, but what are these? There's some aces, some T3 strategic missile submarines. That's an interesting play, and that's actually pretty, well, not super early, but I'd say decently early. Cortana, building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and is building more all the time. He's going to have a lot of nukes here soon. I guess that's his end game goal. Actually has one down here too. Using the missiles, of course, on these submarines, and obviously going to build, I would assume, strategic missiles or nukes. There is another chicken here and a couple of lightning tanks. That might be an interesting play to watch out, but it's going to be a while to walk all the way over there. And the issue with walking over there is you have 4 summits that are like, ooh, you are very slow. We fire very big rounds. And we see artillery being effective at holding off a couple of these units. They target the frigates. Now the summits are going to be the main attack of opportunity here. They need to at least kind of have some sort of patrol route so they don't just sit there and take lots of shots. We even have aircraft carriers on the front line using their missiles. So if you didn't know, T3 aircraft carriers for the Seraphim have additional missiles. So look at the devastation that they're causing here. It's kind of like their answer to the missile ship for the Aeon, but it's not as effective. But the missiles aren't as strong. But they sure fire a lot, so definitely the advantage there. Shield emplacements going down. My Emperor only on 65 mass a second. That's not sustainable. The ASF just sitting here in large piles here for Team 1. Man, how many ASF is that? 800 ASF. More mass than anything in the game. 317,000 mass for all of those units. That is a lot. This positioning trying to hold out. There are some RAS ACUs trying to just, help with shields and artillery, but the reclaim is just very strong here for Cortana. All of the cruisers here, the Governor class cruisers, all those incoming missiles. So many missiles. So many missiles. Man, but it was just crazy. The beginning just popped off. Just four people dead, like 13 minutes, 15 minutes. That was crazy. One battleship still online. They're trying to build more and more artillery as we speak. Even Utashalas are being built just to prevent a land incursion. But the chicken does make it. This will be a huge gain here for Team 2 in the naval side of things, getting for this position. Who says you can't use a land unit against a naval player? Well, Triple F says you can. You need to push it forward just a little bit. Take out the radar. That's always a good thing to grab. It is T2, so it's not an Omni, but it's close. The artillery will probably be the next target. There's not a lot of Utashalas to really worry about. They are being spammed up. Cortana builds his own experimental. Is it a Novax? I'm assuming it's a Novax. Team 1 bombers here to the east. Where is it? I don't see the circle anywhere. Where is it? Is it a Fat Boy? It could be a Fat Boy. No, it is a Novax. Yep, down here. Yep, that's what I was going to say. If you're a UEF player and you're playing Setons, you're most likely going to build at least one or two of them. But large groups of defenses being taken offline. The Yenzine invasion is on the cards here. We have a Omaha Beach scenario. I was thinking Obama for some reason, but Omaha Beach scenario. And waves of bombers inbound to this chicken. The chicken taking thousands of hit points of... It's not... I guess it's kind of napalm. The Janus is a very good example of napalm, but we also have these T2 amphibious riptides on the way. It's going for the calm of Emperor once again. Will he get it? That's a lot of incoming fire. They will kill off the chicken, but the beach has been eradicated, and they've actually punctured a decent hole in the defenses here. There's actually nothing here for Cortana. That scenario needs to be fixed. Does take out a couple of P-Gens and a mass fab. And Emperor almost died to the volatile explosions there at 1,100 hit points. So still a 2v2 game here. And I think at this point, taking out the players instead of the infrastructure is definitely the way to go. Take out the APM, and then what's left is just what's left. The calm of Cortana's going into the water here. Don't know why. He's protected. He's probably better protected actually by these shields. I mean, this is his part of the map, but kind of worried about that. We'll see if something happens with that. There is a Novax, counter Novax on its way here for Lox Mato. But this position is still holding out. It's starting to lose a lot of shielding, though. That is so many missiles. Again, just should be one of my quotes on the channel. Is so many missiles. So many. But another chicken comes onto land, probably from the water once again. And again, not a lot of defenses except for those, thousands and thousands of bombers being thrown at him. But there are some lightning tanks to assist. This is the one we saw earlier with those lightning tanks. But there is a Fat Boy nearby, and that will probably deal with the rest of the hit points. There's no PD. It's taken out a huge section of the air grid, almost all of it, in fact. Sub 1,000 hit points here pretty quickly. Nope, still, nope. missing some shots. There's a Triad shooting at it. Now it's going to fall here. Trying to get close enough. Does take out that P-Gen. Takes out the whole air grid. And now we have these Othams and Yenzine just dealing massive amounts of damage to shield emplacements. We have lightning tanks to assist. My Emperor is still alive. It's trying to rep up sub 2,000 hit points. It doesn't look like the units are focusing him. They're focusing on the infrastructure. And then more and more boats. They are torpedo boats, but they're being used as cannon fodder for the T1 bombers that are coming in. But just the amount of AA here is just insane. Fat Boy being destroyed by the Ion Storm. That's a missed that's not missed opportunity. That is an oversight there. We're trying to walk his Fat Boy into the Ion Storm and kills it off. Not the best scenario here. Othams are reaching the main base here for Cortana. He needs gunships. He needs AA. He needs not AA. He has air. He needs, you know, anti-ground weapons. Doesn't have any PD, and now having this laser come in, there's one mass fab right here. It's funny, it's just the one, and that's the one that's target. A plane gets killed off by the Novax, flies in the the beams line. Oh, it's gonna hurt. But there are Triads here, so he's not completely defenseless. And there are bombers being, you know, flown in as fast as they can. There's a lot of AA though, so it might be enough to hold off at least the majority of the damage. We'll look at all the planes falling out of the sky. I guess it's falling with style, I guess. But man, this is kind of painful to watch sometimes. You just see all these air being taken out, and now the lightning tanks are just by themselves. There's a couple of Othams still, but it's not enough. Cortana will stave off that incoming threat, and now has to deal with this Novax that's taking out some P-Gens. Now we have the first nuke launch, and it's going northward to this position here. It's going to take out this land facility that's producing a chicken. It will finish the chicken, but it will die off. That's going to hurt. Team 1, the land invasion has occurred and is in full swing. Team 2, don't really have anything to worry about right now. And a couple of Rascoms will die. The chicken will probably die. Let's see. Will the chicken get out of range? No, it will not. Oh, it does. It still survives. Oh, it's because it's from a sub nuke. It's not from a silo nuke. So, good thing to point out that the nukes from the submarines are weaker than the silo nukes, or the stations, the silos. And then obviously the YOLO is stronger than those. But just something to think about. Took out the whole facility, though. One chicken was produced. It's not a game ender thing, but my Emperor on 9 mass a second pretty much has nothing. Has nano, but is going for gun as we speak, trying to help assist. But a lot of that air grid has been taken up by that single solitary Novax. A lot of it is shielded, though. Well, at least the remainder of it is shielded. But this little hill here has been just just been terrible for Cortana to try to protect. It's hard because it's all, like, the terrain's all hilly. It's hard to get nice line of sight on targets and stuff, and very difficult. But another Pigeon will go down, and another, oh, that one almost went down. We're going to take out the shield. They are trying to assist the shield as best they can, keep it online. More Triads being built here. Looks like a lot of that force will be taken out. The bombers are going after another chicken. How many bombers are you going to build to take out chickens? Like, this is insane. Look at all the bombers. It's the best effective way, low budget way to take out experimentals. It sure takes a while. But, thousands of hit points. You can't really argue with the success of it, though. We even have a land invasion here to the south. Team 1 just starting to lose map control severely. Once this position fell for my Emperor, the floodgates are open. And it does look like the ASFs now reside with Team 2. How does it look here? Well, 1,000 ASFs. I think that is the most ASFs I have ever seen in any game. 1,000. And that active. Not built, not planned. 1,000 ASFs active at one time. Versus Cortana is probably like 300. Oh, no, 975. Does not look like 975 because they're all on a little ball. So almost 2,000 ASF on the field. If I wasn't going to do the 500 plus subscriber thank you in the thumbnail, I would do something like the aircraft, or like, you know, thousands of ASFs built or something like that, just to be like, it's a lot. It's a lot of ASFs. And we're at 50 minutes. We're closing in on that hour mark. Neither team has lost a player since, you know, sub 13, 14 minutes with the two murder suicides. Summit's being taken out. The artillery's still struggling to take out this position from those positions here. Summits are still trying to take it out. Shields are collapsing. A huge group of these tactical missiles do get taken out. But now the land invasion seems to start going in full swing for Team 1 for Cortana. But it does look like Team 2 is a little bit more prepared. They don't have as many PD emplacements, but they have AA. They have their own set of defenses with these little flares. There's a couple of artillery installations. Not as many defenses as I probably would have thought that they would have devoted to this, but definitely something. The calm of Cortana is in the middle of the water. Nice little hiding spot as long as Team 2 doesn't know he's there. But 4 SMD. What is he planning? That's a lot of SMD. Oh, that's why. I was wondering when you see one of those. It is the YOLO, the Yolana Oz, the experimental missile launcher. And that is why he's built a lot of SMD to protect it. He noticed that Cortana had some water-based nukes and wants to protect against it. They aren't they can't target the entire map. This is the range that they have, the red line. So, and they can scoot a little bit forward, so they could go after the YOLO position. So that is a thing that Team 2 has to be worried about. But again, more work being done. We have a bunch of mech marines being thrown against a couple of Yinzi and Othams. Another chicken goes down, takes out friend and foe alike. It's pretty much just target saturation at this point here for Team 1. We have 2 more Novaxes built here. We have the 1 here, spreading them out. Very good play there to ensure not all of them go down in one fell swoop. The T3 Air Headquarters is still online. Definitely should be taken out at some point, but Team 2 was not successful in doing so. My Emperor, you know, just still holding strong. 14, almost 15,000 hit points, 76 hit points a second. Has the 2 gun upgrades. So he's trying to stay alive as much as he can and be a force for good for his team, just not quitting. Because some players would have just quit. But I do appreciate the fact that he is trying to stay strong as long as he can. But all those facilities starting to be taken out. Again, it's just target saturation. Anything that can distract a shot from Othams, from Yenzine, from whatever, is a shot that is not earned, but deflected off of a higher value target. But one of the Novaxes goes down to some Strat Bombers. Strat Bombers are inbound. Are they going to go after the T3 headquarters? Bombs are away. They're just targeting everything. Looks like they were going after P-Gens. Take out a huge section of the western grid. ASFs are called in. Will the Strat Bombers get another turn in? They'll probably get a couple more bombs off. One does get one off. They'll take out this one. This one doesn't fall, though. They take out this section. The bomb does go off. Doesn't take out that. Oh, they didn't get the T3 headquarters. That was definitely something that Team 2 needed to take out. Now the counter push starting to occur with the assistance of My Emperor. My Emperor is staying strong, saying, I am not going to go quietly into the night. I will fight, and I will do my best to survive. But look at all these mech marines. It's just, again, Cortana's like T1 bombers and T1 light assault bots. That is his goal here, and he's just going to saturate the enemy positions with just a lot of dead bodies. T2 sorry, these are Stingers, not Volthers. Going after the Rascoms, that's an interesting play. Going after the ability for Team 1 to build anything, not of worth, but build any more facilities. I mean, you could still build engineers, but this is, you know, a dual effect of taking out eco and build capacity. So That is the downside with Rascoms, is you have two resources, whether it be build power, actually all the resources being energy, mass, and build power all in one unit. Those go down. Not really great, but lots of Stingers. There's a couple of AA. More Stingers on approach. They're taking out the AA emplacements. And they're probably also taking out the Rascoms to nullify the fact of the ability for Cortana to build T3 SAM sites. And we even have the comm of Cortana actually gonna cross the ocean and build SAM sites. And then he's gonna pop out of the water, pop back into the water. That's an interesting play. If Team 2 finds out about this, this will be the main target. You take out Cortana, I mean, yeah, you'll give everything to my Emperor, but my Emperor is like on the front line.
Strategic launch detected.
Not the best idea, but the YOLO is finished. Oh, please tell me you're going after... Okay, you're going after the water position. Is it close enough? I don't know. There's obviously no SMD here for Team 1. This position is not going to survive. Do they know the comm is there? I haven't noticed. No, that is a unit. They don't know what it is, but that is the comm. The comm is in retreat. The YOLO will land, of course. Stingers being used to stave off enemy reinforcements. Bunch of boats will go down. Here comes the nuke. It's very pretty. I can't zoom out as much as I'd like. Kaboom! Probably would have taken out the. It would have been close. It would have been close. But Summit goes down. A bunch of bulwarks go down. But my Emperor was defeated by Triple F. We kind of knew that was going to happen at some point. He was, hovering around the front line. We pointed out that earlier, right before the YOLO went off. So it was to be expected that at some point he would die. And it was going to be to a chicken. And that's very fair. A Seraphim unit takes out a Seraphim comm. Very, very, very fitting. But now it is a 2v1 in favor of Team 2. And now another nuke gets launched. This position will be taken out. So the land invasion will be halted for Team 1. And now we're starting to see a role reversal here where Team 2 is now in the lead. The Novaxes are targeting the SMDs. That is going to be the main target. Nukes are launched. There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nukes. Do they have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They will have enough. Do they have any more loaded in the clip? It doesn't. No. Oh, there's more over here. Is this enough? Oh! One swung around and took it out. That was close, but now empty, and 1. But that was not enough. We have Triple F having the foresight to go, oh, he has water-based nukes. He will probably use them if he finds out about my plan to build a YOLO. Let's build some SMD first. That takes some thinking. That takes a good tactical mind to be like, I can see what my opponent is going to do. So I'm going to prep a defense for it first and then do what I'm going to do so that way I don't lose the YOLO. Good tactical move on the part of Triple F. And now another nuke gets launched. Is it enough, though? One nuke. It's not enough. And he has one more loaded. That one will be enough, though. Unless one of them gets loaded. One of the SMD does go down. This one being loaded. The Rascom's moving in. Another one gets launched. They're trying to build one as fast as they can. It's not going to be enough. This one should be the priority. It's the one that's almost finished. This YOLO will go down. It'll be close. Oh, change the focus onto this one. Oh, it's incoming. The shield is down. The shield is down around this one. This was the one that was going to finish. It's down. And the YOLO will go down. Oh no. There it goes. Kaboom. He almost had enough SMD and missiles, but it wasn't enough, sadly. And then the pulse from the YOLO's always fun to watch. It reminds me of a Aeon nuke pulse. Even though it's a Seraphim, it reminds me of that, or the ring pulse kind of thing. That is a huge disappointment, unfortunately, here for Team 2. But they were able to use the nuke very effectively in taking out a lot of the land here for Cortana. Cortana is on the retreat. He stopped a little bit, but Now Team 2 needs to build up their nukes. Once again, we have another silo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 11, plus the additional one in this one. So we have 13 nukes. And the air fight that we've been waiting all game. I'm gonna turn off all the icons. But the air for Team 1 isn't moving. Cortana, what are you doing? You need to engage. Don't retreat. Oh, this is a bad engage here for Cortana. Hundreds of ASF are going down to the ASFs here for, shoot. For, oh, that's right, Lox Mato. Thank you. I forgot his name for a second. Lots of ASFs. They're going down into a sharp pillar formation. They're going to turn. They're going to try to get out of dodge. Oh, that's so disappointing. Should have just engaged at that point. I hear Rascom's dying in the distance. That's disappointing. And the ASFs are still chasing him. They're like, I don't care. More ASFs coming to intercept, but the wave, how far spread out those ASFs are here for Lox, takes out a lot of them. They'll turn around and go after that group. They're not going to be able to get that group because of all the AA nearby. But man, how many ASFs are left? He had over 1,000. He only has 300 versus Lox's 650, so a 2-to-1 advantage here for Team 2. Team 2 has air control, not dominance, but air control. And now we have some broadswords that will be annihilated by cruisers. Maybe that's the goal, is just to use the tanky broadswords. And they'll take out cruisers pretty quickly. There'll be a lot of casualties, but they'll take out cruisers, and they're like, it's probably not a good idea. We'll move on to greener pastures. We won't go after those. But maybe they know where the comm is? No, still don't know where the comm is. Right there, though. Not on land. It's in the sea, which is where a lot of commanders do like to hide in this game. I mean, we even have, we had the one Triple F in the water, in its traditional position of the little lake here to the west. But he's going to start building up some more mass extractors. The mass is still here, 16,000 of it, so a small section of it. Not a lot, but a decent amount. Taking out Corsairs as they fly around the map. ASF's just pressuring everything. Man, that was a terrible engage. I mean, the numbers did reside with Lox Mato, but it could have been a better exchange here for Cortana, so they weren't moving for the first couple of seconds, so that didn't help. But Chickens pushing against this line of Ravagers. We have Autumns as well. Pigeons are going down. They'll explode, taking a couple of units. The Chicken is coming in range. Groups of PD, not the best idea against, of course, the small balls of the Chicken. The Chicken trying to dodge shots, kind of bobbing and weaving, as it's saying. That a lot of shots do miss because the Ravager shoots, and it's based on where the target currently is. So some shots will miss, some shots will land. The Chicken will fall to Ravager fire, though, but there's a lot of Autumns here. It is enough. There's even, Triads as well. I like the mix of T2 and T3. Don't really need T1 at this stage, but that Ion Storm will go off in the middle of those forces. Would like to see... Oh, there are Ilshis in there. So I said, would like to see some Ilshis. Oh, I like the Ilshis. They're cool. They're like the little mini chicken walkers. But, yeah, Chickens are just oversized, overcharged Titans in this game. This force will be pushed, away and killed off. A lot of our PD is gone, though, and there's a second Chicken en route. Not as many support units, but the Ravager spam is real here. How many Ravagers does Cortana have? Oh, just a solid, just 71. How much Triads do you have? Oh, double that, 104. Well, he is UEF, and they're known for, tanking up, so definitely par for the course. But all of those gunships, except a couple of them, are killed off. The game was paused there for a second. Obviously, we don't have to wait for the game to be unpaused, but they did for some. Maybe someone had to go to the bathroom, or take their dog out to the bathroom or something. Whoever the case may be, or get a package from the front door. But I've heard a lot of these games are played at night, so probably taking their dog out or something would be the bet that I would go with. But Triad fire, a lot of the Ravagers are down. Triads still do a lot of damage, though, especially in large numbers like this. Solitary chickens, you need a couple more chickens at a time, probably about 3 or 4 to really make it worth your while. The ASFs will engage the storks here for Locke's motto, and they'll get in behind the storks, and I think that is what Locke's wanted. He wanted the ASFs to be distracted. Now that is gonna be his game. He's starting to change. He's getting so close. You can taste it. You can just smell it. He's right there. Look at how close those ASFs are, and they're not shooting. Look at that. And they're gonna run into AA. It's not a lot of AA, but a decent amount. Comm of Locke's motto is actually in the water here. That's a good position here. But man, he can't seem to get those ASFs. They get away just in time. He cuts a couple sections in half or thirds, and is gonna send some over here. I think he does a group move, or what is it? Not a G dot. Is it Shift G? I think is what it is. And those ASFs will be brought back over here to the front line. Where we just have Mech Marines versus Ilshis, and I thought I saw some T1. No, those are just Ilshis. Nothing else. Transport gets taken out. Poor transport. But now the invasion of the air now commences. It's just a bunch of storks taking out infrastructure, taking out. I think they can. Yeah, they can target. No, SAM sites, because they are in the water. A little block of like floating. It looks like ice. It is ice. They're floating on ice. That's I just realized that. I don't know why I just realized that, but it's ice. That's hilarious. And ice does float on water, so that makes sense. And they've blanketed this eastern side, so the ASF left. And while we were watching that happen, the storks targeted the main production facilities for the Navy for Cortana, limiting his ability to be effective. The ASF will come around and kill the rest of those off. But that has severely diminished the capabilities here for Team 1, or I guess Cortana at this point. We are over the 1 hour minute mark. If you've been enjoying the cast so far, again, please like and comment down below. And of course, if you haven't hit that red button, I would greatly appreciate it. Rascom dies in the water. Sorry, I don't mean to zoom in and out a lot. Apologies for that. But what is Triple F doing? Oh, he's reclaimed the mass from the YOLO. What's the eco situation? Well, considering it's SETON'S, considering it's over an hour long, no one's crossed 2K mass. And so Cortana's sitting at 910 versus 1.2. Locke's pretty much catching up with Cortana at 780 and then 400 here for Triple F. A lot of the land attack has petered out. Another chicken and a couple more forces with some Ilshis and whatnot will deal with the rest of this airbase that has been and lasted a very long time, surprisingly. So kudos for Cortana for keeping it online as long as he can. Trying to dodge Ravager fire, take out the mass fabs, take out the P-gens. Didn't walk next to it, not, going to take some hit point. Oh, it's got to hurt. Lots of hit points were lost in that exchange. We'll target the other P-gens. This one will go down next, and then this one will die off as well. So the T3 air facility is killed off. The chicken will die to PD, but the rest of these options will probably deal with that. And the death of the chicken as well will deal with these engineers. So one air facility is still online. The units here for Triple F will try to avoid the ion storm. And there's just Ravagers left, and they're being taken up by the ion storm. That is it. Just one facility left online. There's a couple of land facilities up here, but all the air is gone. Do we have any more air facilities here for Cortana? You should have a backup one somewhere, at least you would think. Oh, there's one right here. That's it. Just one air facility. It doesn't have any aircraft carriers, at least that I know of. It's just, look at all the SAM sites, though. He's just dotted the land. Look at that. Oh, the water, I say, not land. 109 SAM sites. That's a lot of SAM sites. The comm is here, hanging out with some of his Rascom buddies. But this facility, I guess he has the second one over here, is being taken up by just broadswords. And the engineers trying to just build T3 mass extractors. But they need some AA here, and they don't have enough support. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. All I had to do was open my mouth, and then come the ASF. Not super risky, but we have a Starlifter bringing the comm of Locks forward. We have another nuke Where is this one going? Probably against the land incursion once again. Yep, in the rear. There's a T3 land headquarters up here, producing Authams and Ilshis and whatever you would like. I guess the Ilshis are being produced here, I guess. This position will die off. The chicken was built just in time and will flee, and there's even some Rascoms. That position will die. Definitely unfortunate here for Team 2. Kaboom. Takes out all those Rascoms. Everything is gone except the chicken and a couple of Authams. Now the movement south. There's a chicken here. More and more Triads and Ravagers and artillery and everything here. Crisscrossing across the map. This game usually goes from a, like a land game to a naval game, and then an air game kind of mixed in there with some land, but it's gone from a land game to a naval game to a land game, and then a short air game. That's really been about it. Yeah, Cortana has to be very careful with the ASF he still has remaining. He has 200 bingo on fuel, and that number is changing all the time. He has some air staging facilities that he's building just to reduce that issue, but not really looking good because we have 600 here and they're being refueled as we speak. So not 600, we have like 500. Not really looking good. Points target up there. I don't know what that's about. Comm of Triple F is up here though, and I think Cortana, he knows there's a unit down here and there's a transport and it's underwater. He either thinks it's the Rascom or it's the comm. Those are the only two things it really could be. The chicken, death still there. We have a couple of Novaxes. Is that last Novax gone? Yep, it's gone. The Novaxes are gone. Surprised Cortana isn't trying to rebuild those. A lot of those facilities, those PD are taken out. More chickens, more Authams are just puncturing that front line. Even T1 PD to protect the SMD is gone. Just trying to do what they can. Does do a decent amount of hit points though. Man, this game, it's been a different game. That is for sure. We had a YOLO built that was killed off and the game just didn't end. Usually when someone loses an game ender like that, it usually just signifies their death, but not really. We have no central facility here for Cortana. Another nuke goes off that will target this line. Trying to anticipate the chicken and other forces, but it will just get a couple of engineers if those units don't move. Gunships are on the prowl here. T3 broadswords. The nuke will be sent off. The chicken will barely get singed. Yeah, it just barely gets singed. But I will avoid it. Group up with these forces and then push forward once again. Ravagers, of course, are the name of the game here for Cortana. That's what's keeping them in the game. Spy planes are going around trying to find the comm. They're like, where is he? He's got to be here somewhere. Novax is targeting T3 mass extractors and PD, and this would be a good grab, taking out the quantum gateway here, reducing the ability for Cortana to build Rascoms. That's the only way his eco is staying in the game at 900. We have a huge force here, just kind of hovering, doesn't want to engage fully with those ASFs. But Storks are on the approach for something. Maybe they're targeting the aces here, the missile submarines. And now the it's just rapid fire nukage over here, taking out this facility. We'll try to, split the difference between these two. Those two will just sit here, blanketing the skies of nuclear hellfire. Actually, the land, not the skies. But that one will kill off. They'll actually kill off a couple. Oh, they take a huge section of those ASF out. Ooh, that's gotta hurt for Locks. Oh, that was a lot of ASF. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, good grab there. But the land forces coincidentally are protecting. You see the shockwaves intermixing with one another. But the gunships brought in. You need to take out the AA emplacements. That's the main thing. Yeah, T1 PD is annoying, but you take out the things that can shoot at you, and then you can just not worry about anything else, essentially. ASF grouping up here. Strap. T3 strap bombers here from Triple F. We have 36 of them. What is the target? Well, they're going after Ravagers. Oh, that section gets killed off. That section gets killed off. Oh, this is hurting. Oh, as a fan of the UEF, it just hurts to see all these things go up in smoke. But I also am a fan of Seraphim, so I don't really mind it. I kind of mind it, but I don't. These are Aeon strat bombers, though, so I don't know. I don't know if I have like a least favorite faction. I think the one I usually play the least is probably I don't know. Maybe it's tied between Aeon and Cybrin. But I do enjoy playing the Seraphim with their YOLOs and with their Zuis and the whatnot. But ASFs, you got to engage. This is your time. This is the time to take out the rest of the air support here for Cortana. The air fight, the last air fight essentially will occur. Air forces are split off. Not really what you want to do. Here, you want to group up. You want to keep that small, tight little circle. Oh, large engagement here for Cortana. The thing is that even if Lox loses a lot of his ASF, he has the facilities to rebuild them. Cortana does not. And the nuke will be used against the ASF. The ASF not even moving. What is going on here? They kind of just stand. They're just floating there. The chicken on approach on the ground. The ASFs will be called back. They see the nuke go, nope, that's not going to happen. A couple of them will be taken out because of the slow moving units. Take out a couple of planes. Man, how many ASFs does Cortana have left? 66, that's not a lot. That is not a lot. And we have frigates puncturing the front lines here on the eastern side against Lox. Lox has gone back in the Navy, has sprung forth a huge line of T3 naval facilities and is building more all the time. We have rover drones being assaulted by a SAM site, hundreds of them being taken out in large groups. Look at them all die off. That's gotta hurt. But the frigates, do they know where the comm is? Do they know where the comm is? No, they don't. They don't know where the comm is. It's right here. They can see the RAS comms, but they cannot see the comm of Cortana. He has T3 and RAS. I don't know. He could build the Billy Nuke. That'd be fun to watch. But we have T1 Tiger Sharks unapproached. There's not any torpedo defense, only AA defense. That's kind of an oversight now. Strat bombers, I heard you launch. Where are you going? Going after SMD. Obviously a good thing to go after to diminish your ability for your opponent to counter you in the fire. But the nuke gets launched from the ace. Where is this one going? I don't know where this one is going. Oh, it's going. He's going to nuke his own base. Actually, no, that's not his own base. That's the ones over here. Where'd that nuke go? Oh, it went over here. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense. But these two facilities will be taken out. Cortana losing land as fast as he can. It's slipping through his fingers. Takes out a huge section of those facilities. I think the headquarters was... I don't know which one was. I think it was this one. That's what I would assume. But they aren't even producing T3. They're producing T1. And it's just T1 forces with T2 Riptides. The nuke goes off. The Pigeons are the next target. Get a nice little group of SAM sites and a couple of rover drones to assist. But the chicken is coming for those landed ASFs. It's just sad when you see air units being taken out by ground units that aren't designed to take out ground units or air units, like the chicken. The chicken has some, AA on it, but it's not that effective. Triads going down, ASF going down. Lots and lots of T1 engineers are just waiting for their deaths here. We can see the writing on the wall. Cortana was winning for a while. They're going after the T3 naval headquarters. They're building bulwarks. Actually, they're building Coopers, not bulwarks. Apologies. Torpedo boats trying to just... But you need to move it in order to build the next one. But you're not moving it. There it goes. But it's not enough. They're repairing it. T1 boats are not enough. There's even some more Coopers back here. They're taking out all of them. So the assassination plan will not work. And more Coopers are being built all the time. Neptunes are being assaulted by T1 boats. We have T3 boats, T2 boats versus T1 boats. Such a weird naval game now. We have the chicken up here. It's going to deal with the rest of these infrastructure. How is Cortana doing on energy? He has plenty of energy. but it's starting. It doesn't has decent amount of his mass bar left, but didn't really go for experimentals. Didn't try to build a Maver. Didn't try to build any artillery. Didn't try to. I guess Maver's artillery. Didn't try to build a large section of Novax. He's built 3, and then they all died. Didn't build Atlantis. I guess now would be a good idea to build Atlantis, but I don't know. But do they know where the comm is? Do they know where the comm is? They know where the comm is. They're going after the comm. Oh, and Cortana, you're all by yourself. Team 1 AA is not going to do a whole lot. The target is the comm. Here it comes. The death that Lox has been looking for this entire game. We got probably 50 or so boats here. The shield is being built here for Cortana, trying to stave off the threat. Will he finish it in time? It's at 80%. He's sub 6,000 hit points. He'll finish the shield, but it won't be enough. It's only 19,000 hit points, and they're being shredded very quickly. He tries to reclaim boats. They're all grouping up in one tight little section here, but it's not really gonna work out. Coopers are brought in to assist. Cortana will die though, and that is the game, everyone. Team 2 wins. They had the YOLO. They lost the YOLO. Team 2 had the Navy. Sorry, Team 1 had the Navy for a long time, and I think it just took too long to build up a land force to really engage. That's probably what killed them, because we saw to the north that the land engagement just pretty much once my Emperor was killed off, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and just the floodgates were released. We even have some of these Nothas going after whatever they're going after up here, but it took a long time for Team 2 to crack this position. It should have given Team 1 enough time to at least assault this position, so you have the APM constantly back and forth kind of thing. But man, that was a good game. It was a very different SETON'S game, but it was I like that. Usually SETON'S kind of devolves into, okay, we'll shoot artillery at each other for 30 minutes. Okay, the shield's finally cracked. Okay, that's it. We win, or we lost, or whatever. But it was one game ender, used a few times, killed off a couple of Novaxes. Team 1's died. Team 2 still had theirs. But not really a whole emphasis on building artillery or game enders, except, of course, for that one. So, yeah, definitely a different game. And, again, thank you to everybody who participated in the poll. Thank you to everybody for subscribing. For those who haven't, I would encourage you to do so. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And, again, the next poll that will go on the channel will be when I hit 750. We're halfway over the mark. We're over the halfway mark to 1,000. It's just awesome to see your support, everyone. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. And I will see all of you wonderful, amazing people in the next one.